Ladies, gentlemen, welcome to TNN News Raw. With your host, Tom.
Breaking news, nigga. Breaking news. Hello, everyone. I'm Tommy Sotomayor. Welcome to TNN News Raw. And another story, out of America's toilet bowl. That's right, Detroit, Michigan, the place where dreams and people go to die. The place that used to be America's greatest city until niggas took over. Niggly bears are doing what niggly bears do. But a lot of these niggly bears and Ed 209s are falling victim to the Terminatrix. The Terminatrix is somebody you don't play with. The black Terminatrix will kill and destroy you. She does not have any remorse or pity. Now, this story is about a woman who dated a man for a month. The woman dated the man for a month, and the man decided he didn't want to be with her. That's why I'm telling y'all now, when you sleep with dark-skinned chicks, do it at your own risk. How many of y'all realize that dark-skinned chicks, and a lot of them are pretty damn nuts, and there's nothing you can do to change the fact that, well, they nuts. Now, I don't know what it is, and they really get nuts if they get them a white man or a mixed man. Because to them, that's their way out of being dark-skinned. They can possibly have a kid that don't look like them or don't have the problems that they have, whatever that is. Well, this man that you see on the screen, his name is Terrence Ricks Jr. Terrence Ricks Jr. had his father in his life. Terrence Ricks Jr. was 25 years old, living in his daddy's and his mama's house. Shouldn't have been doing that, but he also shouldn't be dead. Terrence Ricks did something that many of us do. We listen to our dick before we listen to our head. Terrence Ricks messed around and fucked a woman by the name of Denisha Mathis. Denisha, D-A-N-I-S-H-A. Any black chick with Isha in her name and she dark-skinned, you gonna lose, bruh. Come on, dog. Anyway, the 25-year-old man lost his life to Denisha, and she's being charged for murder, for using her car as a deadly weapon. Now, let's go ahead and go to this damn story. Let's get to it.
A man's loved one says he hadn't been dating a young woman very long before he decided he needed to break it off.
Well, Detroit police say that woman is responsible for using her car as a deadly weapon in his murder, and it was all caught on surveillance video.
7 Action News reporter Kimberly Craig has been talking to the victim's family. And Kim, that surveillance video, kind of hard to look at. I checked it out this morning, but it seems to point to clear intent.
Damn, that bitch got a deep-ass voice. Look how she said, yeah.
Surveillance video, kind of hard to look at. I checked it out this morning, but it seems to point to clear intent.
Absolutely, without a doubt, that this driver was gunning.
And let me make sure that Detroit News knows right now. This is fair use, Nick. Fair use.
For Terrence Ricks Jr. You'll see him running down the sidewalk here as he's being chased by a car, and behind the wheel a woman now charged with first-degree murder.
That woman smoked 8 packs of Newports a day. Big old chick.
My son didn't deserve to die this way. If my son's supposed to be burying me, not me burying him.
What happened to 25-year-old Terrence Ricks Jr. is horrifying.
Nice-looking young man. Seemed like he had his stuff. I don't know if he had his stuff together, but nice-looking young man. He's going to grow into his father. May have grown into a family man since he had his father. Did what a lot of us do. We out here sowing our oats. We out here sleeping with chicks. Don't think it's nothing wrong. Sometimes people's emotions are tied up.
And Detroit police say this woman...
God! This motherfucker girlfriend looked like a nigga I used to write rhymes with and sell dope with. That nigga was hell behind the mixing board. He was real. You know, Gucci Mane. She looked like Gucci Mane. Nigga, you was fucking Gucci Mane. Come on, dog.
20-year-old Denisha Mathis is responsible for killing him. Her weapon, this car, as young Terrence ran for his life.
He should have ran for his life when she tried to give him some pussy.
Couldn't take the breakup, because prior to that day, I heard him on the phone telling someone, I don't know if it was her, don't call my phone no more and don't text me no more.
I know she's just been coming to the house. She will pull in the driveway and she'll say hi, but other than that, no.
Oh, he got a cute wife.
Mr. and Mrs. Ricks say their son had only been dating Denisha for no...
God, they live in the straight up hood. Like, geez, look where they live. And she got several stomachs. But she an old woman now, so nobody gives a crap. But why is the man still in shape and the woman not? If you notice that most black relationships, the dude still be in pretty good shape and the woman just be in whatever shape her clothes can fit her in.
More than a month, and it seemed he...
Oh, wow, he looked just like his daddy. That is cool.
...wanted to break up, but not Denisha, who came by the house last week Tuesday.
She was...
Mr. and...
So he wanted to break up, but she wasn't having it. How many of you guys tried to break up with a black woman and see where that got you? Let's listen.
Mrs. Ricks say their son had only been dating Denisha for no more than a month, and it seemed he wanted to break up, but not Denisha, who came by the house last week Tuesday.
She was in front of my house arguing with my son. I came outside and told my son, I said, leave her alone. Come on in the house, man.
And about 15 minutes later, Mr. Ricks says his son left to go to the store to get some cigarettes, perhaps not realizing Denisha was still around.
She was still in the neighborhood stalking him, you know, and seen him up there on 7 Mile.
It's unclear if the two started arguing again, but what is clear is the evil that is behind the wheel. As investigators say, Denisha Mathis drove her car down 7 Mile, looped around in the parking lot as Terrence desperately tried to get away, but there was nowhere for him to hide, and the father of 2 was hit and killed, perhaps because he was a man Denisha Mathis couldn't have.
Hold the fucking phone. Hold the fucking phone. Mr. Ricks, I apologize for number one, and I feel sorry for your loss. But you had a 25-year-old son living in your house who out fucking Gucci Mane for some odd reason. And he already has 2 children. He lives in your house, sir, at 25. And the house that you live in looks like no one should live in that house, sir. And you guys allowed your grown-ass son to sit out in front of his house to argue with this bitch that looked like a nigga I used to trap with. That nigga was hell when he was whipping it on the stove. His whip game was serious. And you let him sit in your house arguing with that bitch. If Mr. Ricks had been my son and I went outside and saw he was arguing with that ugly ass bitch and he had 2 kids, I would have packed his shit up and kicked him out for one, bringing that drama to my damn house. And 2, when you say he couldn't avoid that chick, yes, he could have. It's very difficult for somebody to run you down. Now, as you can see, he tripped, which is sad. But it's very difficult for somebody to run you down. Number one, you don't have to talk to the chick no more. Now, I know how hard it is because I've done it. Crazy chicks will let you get into an argument with them. That's why you don't get into arguments with crazy chicks at your house or at any damn public place. You let them go. If you really want to break up with a chick, just ignore her, man. But then he was on foot, she was in a car. You can't, I gotta say this, you can't go around using people and expect those people to be okay with it. That's the one thing where you can get yourself in trouble when you using people. So a ugly bitch like that, you can tell he used that ugly bitch. It is what it is. Let's get it.
Hide, and the father of 2 was hit and killed, perhaps because he was a man Denisha Mathis couldn't have.
I just want to know why. I want to know why.
And Terrence Ricks Jr. was killed over a week ago, but his family can still not plan his funeral just yet because they simply cannot afford it. If you'd like to help, we'll have a link on our website at WXYZ.com. Reporting live on the city's west side, Kimberly Craig, 7 Action News. Back to you 2 in the studio.
Boy, your hearts go out for those parents sitting right there. I mean, just vicious, Kim. I don't know.
It's very heartbreaking.
Yeah.
I just wanted to also tell you that he leaves behind 2 children. Back to you.
Okay.
Let me tell you something. It is heartbreaking, but I'm not sad for the man the more I know. And again, I didn't know all of this part of the story. This is a father of 2 out there fucking that ugly ass woman when he should have been out getting a damn job. Now the people are asking for money, and right now they have 37. Let me see what the GoFundMe is up to right now. The GoFundMe, they're looking for $5,000 to bury him, so they're not trying to get over on us. And Rachel Ricks is the woman's name, and they've so far received $3,645. When they say they have not put this boy in the ground because of the lack of funds that they have, maybe, is life insurance that difficult? I mean, he had enough. I'm not trying to be funny. He had enough money to buy cigarettes. He had 2 children. The money he was paying for cigarettes, The money that he paid to go hang out with that bitch, he could have got that ugly bitch to pay for his life insurance. I'm not trying to be funny, but like, I want to give them the other $1,355. Damn, I'm pretty good on accounting. I want to give them that. And I was going to give it to them live on air. And then I heard that. I don't know what to do, and the man is gone, and the family, but you guys were supporting this. So you live in Detroit, you know what it's like to live in Detroit. Your son is going out, he gets one kid, he gets a second kid, he has no life insurance, he can't even help those children who are in his life, and you can't even bury him. The one thing I do know about what Detroit does is they'll bury him for free. That's a fact. Now, you said he hasn't been buried because you guys don't have the money, but Detroit will bury him for free. Many places in the United States will bury him for free. Where do you think those homeless people go? They don't have money. When they die, where do they go? They don't just leave them on the street. I'm not trying to be funny, but how great of a how great of a funeral should have had when his life wasn't that great? Why send him off like a king when he lived like a pauper? Not feeling that. So I don't know how I feel about that. You guys can tell me if we should help or not. Let me know. But the man did not have to die that way. And let me tell you guys what they say happened. I want to make sure I read the right one. That's not the right one. That's not the right story. The story that was crazy is the one that describes what happened. So let me read it. Okay, prosecutors said that Mathis fled the accident scene at a high rate of speed. Ricks eventually became let me go up some. Fuck, I read it down too far. Denisha Mathis of Detroit is accused of killing Terrence Ricks, 25, also of Detroit, Tuesday. Police say around 9:15 p.m. She was driving her Ford Fusion down the 2100 block of West 7 Mile near Trinity, chasing Ricks, who was running from the car on foot. Police say the victim and the woman driving the Fusion, identified by authorities as Mathis, appeared to be having an argument earlier on that day. Authorities say that she drove down the sidewalk, hit Ricks, dragging him under the car. Yes, dragging him under the car. 3 hours later, the woman was taken into custody. A Detroit Police Department statement said. Prosecutors said Mathis fled the accident scene at a high rate of speed. Ricks eventually became dislodged from the car, authorities said, and later died at the hospital. Mathis was arrested on June 4th. Mathis was arraigned, and on Friday, the 36th District Magistrate Dawn M. White is going to be the judge. She was remanded in the Wayne County Jail. Probable cause hearing is scheduled for June 26th, which was yesterday. What? Yesterday was Sunday. Oh, yesterday was Monday. That's right. A preliminary exam is slated for July 3rd. I really feel bad for the parents. I really do. And since he died so long ago and he still hasn't been buried, I don't know. But I assume they could just put him in the ground. But I want to talk about this idea of black women being this violent, the terminatrix. When you are trying to break up with somebody and they decide they want to kill you, that is a prime example of the terminatrix. She does not know how to be happy with you or herself. And because she's so unhappy with herself, like Bishop on Juice said, I don't give a fuck about you. I don't give a fuck about me either. And that's how a lot of these black women feel. They don't give a fuck about themselves. They don't give a fuck about you. But they'll get rid of you before they get rid of themselves. That's what the terminatrix does. Reese told you guys a long time ago.
Listen and understand that Terminator is out there. It can't be bargained with. It can't be reasoned with. It doesn't feel pity or remorse or fear. And it absolutely will not stop. Ever. Until you are dead.
These BT-1000s are disgusting. Well, this is the Lemmum Hunnet. And I told y'all these Lemmum Hunnets was real. She took a car and ran somebody down. And this is not the first time we've heard of a story of a black woman taking a car and running somebody down. This is not the first time we've heard of a story in Detroit of a black woman taking a car and running somebody down and killing them. That's what's disturbing about it. But we want to sit and tell people that Black Lives Matter, which is bullshit. Black lives doesn't matter, because if black lives really matter, we wouldn't be having the problem that we're having of black people taking so many black lives in some of the most disturbing, disgusting ways. ways. This is a 20-year-old girl, so this is the BT Lemmum Hunnet. I told y'all these Lemmum Hunters are going to be destructive. I told y'all that 5 years ago, and what has happened? I've been correct. I told you guys where they were going to be. What have happened? I've been correct. Black women at this point are just bad people, and they don't care that they're bad people. No matter how many times you tell them to their face, this is bad, I don't want to do this, don't say it, whatever it is, they will continue to do that which you don't want them to do. Ask them to do something that you want them to do and see how fast they do it. Hell, I think you need to play a Jedi mind trick on most black chicks and just tell them the shit that you want them to do that you don't want them to do, and tell them the shit that you don't want them to do that you do want them to do. And maybe that'll work. But them bitches will figure that out because they damn CPU will start working underneath their hair hat, and the next thing you know, they done figured your game out. They like the fucking Sentinel and shit. Like, you might be able to get one hit on them, but they'll adapt. Anyway, I hope this woman rots in hell for running this man over. But as a family and all these other people out there, for all the trinkets and gadgets that you got, do the world a favor. Get some fucking life insurance and health insurance. Not very expensive. And if you can afford all this other shit, you can afford that. And if you can't, then you should die the way you live. Broke. I'm Tommy Sotomayor. Fuck you and good night.
Beasties back. Beasties back. BC Montana was just the beginning. Yeah, these beasties back. All eyes on us, cause we destined for riches. We ain't stunting you niggas, and we don't fuck with you bitches. Nah.